So what's up guys? So welcome po sa aking channel, Hugot Sipnayan. Ako po pala si Sir Jayvee, ang inyong MathKahugot. At welcome po sa ating channel. So para po sa ating video for today, ang ating pong didiscuss is all about mathematical system. So guys, ito ay yung third part ng ating discussion ng third quarter about geometry. So ngayon guys, ang bibigyan po natin ay yung second major component ng ating mathematical system o ng ating axiomatic system, which is all about defined terms. So we already have some background introduction about axiomatic system, and also guys, we already have some discussion about undefined terms. So ngayon, ang focus naman natin ay alamin yung mga basic defined terms na pwede natin gamitin kapag tayo nagpo-prove ng iba't ibang situation or nagpo-prove tayo guys ng iba't ibang figure in geometry. So tara guys, so let's have our discussion about defined terms. So magkameron na tayo ng basic recall. So mathematical system na sa geometry is our postulate system o tinatawag nating axiomatic system. So meron siyang four major component, which are the undefined terms, the defined terms, axioms and postulate, and the theorems. So nagkameron tayo ng discussion about undefined terms. Ngayon guys, ang focus naman natin yung second major natin, which is the undefined terms. So abang-abang lang po kayo sa video natin guys about axiom, postulate, tsaka theorem. So magkakameron po tayo ng in-depth discussion kung paano po gamitin ang mga yan. So guys, kapag pinag-uusapan yung defined terms, nagsimula din to guys sa mga undefined terms. Kumbaga lumawak lamang yung idea ng mga undefined terms, kaya nabuo tong mga defined terms na to. So ano nga ba yung tinatawag na defined terms? Pag sinabi guys defined terms, ito yung mga terminology o yung mga terms na may precise at concise na definition. Guys, meron silang kahulugan o meron talaga silang in-depth na discussion, description, at pagpakahulugan kung ano ba talaga sila. Ang definition guys ay isang precise statement or description ng meaning ng isang term. Na kung saan guys, pag sinabi mo yung meaning ito, madali siyang maunawaan in a same way. So, ito yung guys yung mga word na bibigyan pa natin. So, parallel lines, linear pair, angle, supplementary angles, adjacent angle, midpoint, at iba pa. So, pag binigay tayo guys ang definition, yun yung eksaktong definition niya. At kalimitan guys, ginagamit natin to sa pagpo-prove ng iba't ibang situation sa geometry. So, gandaan nyo guys ha, pag sinabing defined terms, siya yung mga terms na may definition. At hindi basta-basta definition guys. Siya po ay precise at concise, kompletong-kompleto, at kailangan po na describe siya ng maayos. Okay? So guys, before we start with those terms na di-discuss natin, so make sure you get a ball pen and a paper, syempre, okay, o notebook, extra notebook ninyo. Try nyo guys isulat yung mga term na babanggitin po natin, at guys yung kanilang mga definition. You may also provide guys Tagalog na explanation ninyo, na mismong explanation ninyo, mismong Tagalog, para mas maintindihan ninyo at mas magamit nyo siya. So we will start with our first term, which is the points, which are collinear at saka complanar. So magsimula tayo guys sa definition ng mga points. So first is collinear points and complanar points. Pag sinabi guys collinear points, these are the points lie on the same line. At pag sinabi naman natin complanar points, these are the points that lie on the same plane. So medyo nagkamali lang tayo ng word doon. Pag sinabing collinear, on the same line. Kapag complanar, on the same plane. So hindi lang natin medyo na-edit yon. This one should be a plane. Okay? Ito guys, point A, B, and C are said to be coplanar points. Kasi po, kung isa yung plane ito guys, plane R po to, yung A, B, at C, common point siya ng plane R. At kapag po sama-sama sila in a certain plane, siya pinatawag pong complanar. Now, ano ba yung kaibahan ng collinear? Pag sinabi guys collinear, sila naman po ay naglalay on the same line. Ibig sabihin yung point M, point N, point O, at saka point P, they lie on the same line. Kaya ang tawag po sa kanila ay collinear. Para po sabihin natin, common line o coplanar, common plane. So, yun po yung definition ng dalawa. At guys, ginagamit po yan kapag tayo nagpo-prove ng mga points at syempre sa mga line. Okay, those are the two terms. So, collinear points and coplanar points. Now, next term natin guys is our parallel lines. Pag sinabi guys parallel lines, so alam mo namang ito'y alam nyo na during your elementary days. These are the line in a plane that do not intersect. The symbol for parallel are the two lines that are said to be beside each other. So, ganyan po yung example nyo. Ang sabi po niyan ay parallel to. So, ano ba example guys ng mga parallel lines? Tingnan nyo ba yung side ng mga rectangle? Parallel po yun. Kasi, kahit po, pag samahin mo siya, hindi mo sila ma-intersect. So, these are example guys. So, line N and line M are on the same plane. They are coplanar lines. So, they are coplanar lines. At kapag hindi nag-intersect yung dalawa under the same plane, ang tawag sa nila guys ay parallel lines. Kaya tandaan nyo guys, pag sinabing parallel line, hindi lang siya basta-basta they do not intersect. Kailangan po, they lie on the same plane. Coplanar line sila na hindi nag-intersect sa isa't isa. So, that is parallel line. In symbols guys, pag sinulat nyo siya, ito po. Line M is parallel to line N. So, that's our symbol. At kailangan po alam nyo kung paano yung symbol. Para mas madali kayong magsulat. Kaysa po isulat nyo siya in words, mas madali pag may symbol. So guys, pag sinabing parallel lines, ulitin ko, these are the line in a plane or coplanar lines that do not intersect. Next word po natin is the perpendicular lines. Two lines are said to be perpendicular if they intersect and form a right angle. The symbol perpendicular is the like a half cross symbol. Yan, parang half cross sila guys. So for example guys, so may line M tayo, tapos may line N. Now kapag yung dalawa ay nag-intersect, tapos bumungo siya guys sa gitna ng angle na parang na corner ng isang square, or napasin nyo, para siyang yung mismong cross guys, yung angle sa gitna nila guys, yung apat na angle, ito, tsaka ito, there are said to be guys, right angles. At special type ng intersecting line ang perpendicular lines. They are intersecting line and also form right angles. So yung mga angle dito guys, yan po ay mga yun ay mga right angles. So tandaan nyo po ha. So yun po yung sasabing perpendicular lines. They form a right angle and as well as they intersect one another. So yun po yung perpendicular lines. Next term natin guys. So guys, in symbol pala, ito po yung sulat niya. Line M is perpendicular to line N. So that's how we write them in symbols. Okay? Next po natin is the midpoint. Now, from the word itself guys, midpoint, ang mid ay gitna. Tapos point, di sabihin siya ay point sa gitna. Kunwari guys, mayroon tayong line segment. Tapos yung line segment na yun, divide the line into two equal part or divide the segment into two equal part. Ang tawag sa gitna na yun guys, yung halfway point nila, ay yung po itatawag na midpoint. Example guys, meron tayong line segment na XY. Ngayon si Z ay nasa gitna. Si Z po ang tinatawag nating midpoint. So Z is the midpoint of XY. Then we conclude that the measure of line segment ZX, ito po yun, at saka line segment ZY is the same. Pares ang sukat. At kapag guys, pares ang sukat, syempre congruent yung dalawang line. Kaya ito po, ang sukat nito at saka sukat nitong ay magkaparehas. So since we're trying to deal with the midpoint. So from the word itself, midpoint, it's a point in the middle. Okay? Next naman po ay the word angle. Alam ko guys, may discussion na kayo about angle. Elementary pa lang, nadi-discuss na to. So, recall lang naman po to. An angle is an figured form by two rays with a common point. So, yung common point na yun guys, ay bahagi po ng angle mismo. The angles can be named using 3 letters or a small number or letter. Example of which guys, ito. Dalawang ray siya na pinagdugsong. Okay? Yung ito yung natawag nating starting ray, yung kabila naman yung rotating ray. Ito yung naikot. Kumbaga sa orasan, ito yung maliit, ito yung medyo malaki, yung mahaba. Siya yung naikot. Now, we could name it as ABC. So, may point po tayo, ABC. Now, saan guys, lagi yung ating duluhan o yung dulo ng ating mga rays o yung common point nila, yung ating laging nasa gitna sa pagpapangalan. Kaya po pag pinangalanan mo to, ABC po yan. O kaya CBA. Hindi po pwedeng nasa unahan yung B. Mali po yung pagpapangalan nun. Kailangan po yung B lagi nasa gitna. Yan po ay maaaring ABC o pwede naman pong CBA. Now, pwede rin siyang lagyan ng pangalan guys. Pwedeng using small letter or isang number. O, lagyan po natin ng 1. Pwede po yung angle 1. Okay? So, guys, under naman ng angle, may iba't iba pa tayong angle pairs at saka po angle based on the measure. So, recall po natin isa-isa mga yon. So, tandaan guys, yung angle po ay na-form ng two rays with a common point. Now, these are the types of angles according to measure. Siyempre, ang una nating angle na kailangan bigapasin dyan guys is the acute angle. An acute measure less than 90 degree. So, pag less than 90 degree, yan po ay acute. Example, diba? So, kung ganyan guys yung ating angle, may ABC po tayo. Ang suot guys niya ay 60 degree. So, mula 0 hanggang 89.99999. Basta hindi saktong 90. Acute yun guys. Okay? Yan po usually yung tsura ng mga acute. Next po natin, o yung talagang dapat alam ninyo guys, is the right angle. A right angle is an angle whose measure an exactly 90 degree. The square corner is usually used as mark for a right angle. Yan po example, angle ABC. Meron po tayong mark dito guys sa parang square corners. Yan po ay sinasabi nating right angle. So kung tandaan nyo guys yung perpendicular lines, yun yung po binabagi kong right angle. Na yung apat na angle na nabuo kapag nag-intersect ang dalawang line tapos perpendicular pa sila, yun po yung tatawag na right angles. So dapat po eksaktong-eksakto na ang measure nila guys ay 90 degree. It's an angle whose measure is exactly 90 degree. Okay? Next po natin na angle is the obtuse angle. So, ang measure po niya is greater than 90 but less than 180. So, from 90.1 hanggang po 179 point something, yan guys, obtuse pa rin yan. An example po niyan. So, this one is 120 per degree, guys. That is already a obtuse angle. So, another recall guys. So, ano nga bang the measurement na ginagamit natin for angle? So, that's degree. Kapag naman instrument guys, that's protractor. So, grade 7 kayo, dapat alam nyo yan. So, ngayon ay grade 8 na kayo. So, alam ko na alam yung gamitin ng mga yan. Next natin guys is the straight angle. Pag sinabing straight angle from the word itself, the angle was measure exactly 180 degree. Yung angle guys, na-bent na siya. Naging straight na siya. So yung from the starting line natin, starting ray natin, pati yung rotating ray natin, naging nakabuo siya guys ng isang tuwid na linya. At ang tawag po doon guys, ay straight angles o angle. O, di ba? So, it measure 180 degree. Okay? Next po natin guys is what we call the reflex angle. Kapag yung angle guys ay measure greater than 180 pero less than 360, ang tawag naman po sa kanya ay reflex angle. So, an example guys nito ay 240 degree. So, ang tawag po sa kanya ay reflex. Kapag naman guys, humakto na 360 na siya, so 360, pamilyar na pamilyar kayo dyan, di ba? Isang full rotation ang tawag doon guys. For example, may starting point tayo, yan, AB. Umigot siya ng todo, pabaliktad hanggang sa dulo ulit. Yan, kita nyo, umigot siya. Ang tawag po doon guys ay full rotation. Okay, that's 360 degree. Yung 180 na straight, nadugso mo pa na isang straight. Kaya po 360. So, ang bilog guys ay 360 degree yon. So, yun po yung ginagamit for full rotation. Okay? Those are the angles according to measures. So, tandaan nyo yun guys, meron tayong acute na dapat less than 90 degree. Eksaktong 90 degree, that's right angle. Less than greater than 90. So, next natin is greater than 90 but less than 180, that's obtuse. Pag eksaktong 180 degree, that's straight. Kapag greater than 180 but less than 360, that is reflex angle. At kapag naman eksaktong 360 degree, ang tawag naman natin guys dun ay full rotation. Okay? Yun, 360 degree. Next naman guys is the angles grouping. So, ito naman guys ay dalawang pair ng mga angle or pwede natin tatlo o apat base sa itsura nila guys. The first natin na lagi may encounter guys yung vertical angles. So, ito dapat tandaan nyo guys ha. Kasi ito lagi yung minsan na-encounter ko pag ako nagpo-prove. Two angles in which the sides of one angle are the opposite rays of the side of the other angles. So, by the word itself guys, medyo nakakalito. Pero in illustration, ganito po siya. Para siyang dalawang intersecting line na kung saan guys, yung magkatapatan, magkatapatan tong part na to, ay tatawag na vertical angle. Itong magkatapatang ito, vertical angle. At guys, ang vertical angle ay parehas ang measurement. O example, meron kang ganito. Di ba? Kita niyo yan nasa daliri ko. Di ba yung ibabaw, saka yung ilalim, ay parehas ang measurement niya in terms of degree. Pati yung nasa tabihan, ito, tsaka ito, parehas ang, ang kanilang measurement. Okay? So, that is vertical angle. So, na-form siya through intersecting line. At yung magkatapatan na angle, sa ibabaw at saka sa ilalim, sa kaliwat at sa kanan, they are congruent angles. So, tandaan nyo guys, kapag vertical angles, those are formed by the sides of one angle are the opposite rays of the other angle. Okay? In short, they are formed through intersecting lines that they are said to be the opposite angle formed by intersecting lines. At guys, tandaan nyo, ang vertical angles po ay laging congruent. So guys, yun naman ay under na ng postulate or na theorem. Okay po. Next, among our grouping, so ito po, pangalan natin ha. Ito, A, B, C, tsaka po D, B, E. So, isabing D, B, E, A, B, C. So, sabihin, ito, tsaka ito. They are congruent. Okay? Next naman po, ng ating angles grouping is the adjacent angle. From the word adjacent, guys, so, para siya, guys, magkatabi. So, two angles are with a common vertex and a common side. Example nito, guys. Ano yung common vertex nila? Ito yung point B. Ang common side naman nila ay BD. So, common side nila ay guys ay BD. Ang common vertex nila ay B. Ibig sabihin guys dito, si ABD at si EBD ay adjacent angle. In short, they are sitting beside each other, kumbaga sa tao. Sila po ay magkatabi. Kapitbahay, kapitbuhay. Okay? Since may common silang side at may common silang vertex. Kapag guys magkatabi sila at mayroon silang common side, madali kasi malalaman guys kahit wala pang drawing eh. Ito na lamang sa angle mismo. ABD, EBD. Adigay parehas ang dalawang point. Kapag may parehas sa dalawang point yan, automatic guys, adjacent angle ang pinag-uusapan. Okay? So, pag magkatabi po yung angles or there are the two angles with a common vertex at common side, automatic adjacent angle yan. Now, meron po tayong special type ng adjacent angle. Ito naman tinatawag natin guys na linear pair. Pag sinabing linear pair, hindi lang sila guys basta adjust lang magkatabi. Nagbubuo pa sila guys ng straight line. Two adjacent angles with their common sides forming a straight angle or the opposite rays. Yung non-common side nila guys, yung magkabila. Example nito. Linear pair yan. Ito yung common side nila, di ba? Ito yung non-common. Yung non-common side nila guys, isang straight line. Okay? At guys, ibig sabihin, yung sum ng A at sa sum ng B, 180 degree. Di ba? Ang straight angle na bangin ko sa inyo kanina is 180 degree. So, ibig sabihin nun guys, yung rotation nila mula do sa angle B patungo do sa angle A, mula do sa kabilang side niya, is 180 degree. Ibig sabihin, yung measure ng angle A plus measure of angle B, they are 180 degree. Or, silang dalawa ay linear pair. Okay? Next naman po guys is our supplementary angle. So pag sabi supplementary angle, thus the measure of their two angles is 180 degree. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung measure ng angle A at angle B ay pinag-add mo at sila ay 180 degree, saktong-sakto, supplementary angle ang tawag doon. Di ba? Parang itong 2 at saka 1, they are linear pair. Kung si angle 1 ay 80 degree at si angle 2 ay 100 degree, ibig sabihin, yung measure ng angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 is 180 degree. At yung angle 1 at angle 2 are supplementary angles. Di ba? Ibig sabihin nito guys, yung mga linear pair o yung mga adjacent angle na nakabuo ng straight line o tatawag nating linear pair, lahat po sila o yung pares nila guys ay supplementary. So tandaan niyo po yun ha. Ang linear pair o yung pares lagi ay supplementary. So alam mo guys na makakatulong po sa inyo at lagi nyo po tandaan. Okay? Pag pinag-add nyo po yung angle 1 at angle 2, sila po ay supplementary. Okay? Pero guys, kung sila naman ay magkatabi, linear pair sila, matic supplementary yan. Okay? Kung meron naman po tayong 180 degree na supplementary, meron naman po tayo for 90 degree and for the right angle. If the sum of the measure of two angles is 90 degree, then they are complementary. Example, 1 at 2 ulit. Si 1 po ay 60 degree. Si 2 naman, si angle 2 is 30 degree. So, syempre, 60 plus 30 ay 90 degree. So, ibig sabihin, kapag 90 degree ang sum ng dalawang angle, they will be said to be complementary. Magkahiwalay man sila o magkalayo man sila o hindi guys, pag sinabing complementary, yung sum ng isa at yung sum ng pangalawa, pag inad mo, 90 degree. Ganun guys din sa supplementary. Kahit hindi sila linear pair, kahit hindi sila magkatabi. Pag yung measure ng angle 1 at angle 2 ay nagkasum na 180 degree, supplementary sila kahit hindi sila linear pair. Okay? So that is complementary angles. So before we have angle bisector, call muna natin guys yung mga angle pairing. First is our adjacent angle. Sila guys yung magkatabi na angle. At may special type tayo guys ng adjacent angle, which is the linear pair. Ito po yung dalawang adjacent angle na nakabuo ng isang straight angle. Next po natin guys is what we called the supplementary angles, or sa po yung dalawang angle na may sum na 180 degree and the complementary angles with the sum of 90 degree. At syempre yung ating kauna-unahang angle na diniscuss, which are the vertical angles or the angles that form opposite by intersecting lines. So yung mga na-form by intersecting lines sa mag-opposite are said to be the vertical lines. At tandaan guys, pag vertical lines, there are congruent. Naman guys, ito naman yung mga special type ng ating mga rays, point, at saka po line. First on our list is the angle bisector. So guys, medyo alam ko na marami na tayong terms na diniscuss, pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, if you provide a list sa inyong paper, sa inyong notebook, madali nyo po itong maalala, at pag kayo nagpo-prove, buksan nyo na lamang ang notebook ninyo or pwede nyo po siyang aralin para po mas madali nyo siyang matandaan. So, angle bisector is a ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles. For example, meron tayong angle AOC. Tapos, nag-drawing ako ng linya sa gitna. Tapos yung angle na yan guys, kung yun naman ay sukat na 60 degree, nahati ko yung into dalawang angle na tig 30 degree. Ibig sabihin yan guys, yung ray ko na OB ay isang angle bisector. At ibig sabihin nun, si angle AOB at si angle BOC ay pares sa sukat. Kung siya kanina guys, yung AOC natin, yung kabuuan mismo, ay 60 degree, yung dalawa ay nabuong tig 30, automatic guys, yung OB ko o yung aking ray OB ito, yung nasa gitnang ray na yan, ay isang angle bisector. Okay? So, yun, may nagpatak. So, yun po, angle bisector po ang tawag doon. Yung OB is an angle bisector. So, in short, it's a ray that divide an angle into two congruent angles. Okay po. Now sir, kapag hindi congruent yung angle sa nabuo, angle bisector pa rin ba siya? Ay hindi na. Okay, dapat congruent pa rin. Dapat po congruent kasi pag sinabi guys the word the bisect guys, they usually make it congruent pag sinabing word the bisect. Next guys is segment bisector. Kung meron naman tayong angle bisector, syempre meron tayong segment bisector. It's a point, a line, or a segment that divides a segment into two congruent parts. Para lang to guys yung midpoint. Pero this time, hindi lang siya basta-basta point lang. Pwede rin tayong gumamit ng ray, pwede tayong gumamit ng line, pwede tayong gumamit ng line segment. Example nito guys, ito. We have LOE, which is our straight line. O sabi natin straight, ano siya, line segment. Disregard na lang natin yung fact na ito ay line. So, LOE, line segment lang siya mismo. Ngayon ito dalawa guys, ay kita nyo, they are congruent. Ibig sabihin guys, kahit mismo yung line LE natin, hinati ko into two congruent rays. At si OB, yung ating ray OB, ay isang segment bisector. Ibig sabihin yung segment ko na LE, nahati ko into two parts. Yung OL ko at saka OE ko parehas ang sukat. Kung ito man ay ang LE ko ay 6 cm, after kong isulat yung aking BO o yung OB natin, yung ating ray OB, naging siyang tig 3 cm. Edi automatic guys, segment bisector yan. Kasi hinati niya yung line or yung line segment into two congruent parts. Okay? Ganito po yun. So, ibig sabihin guys, pag sinabing segment bisector, it's not really divide a line, but the segment itself. Ang dinivide niya guys, yung segment. Kasi naman guys, ang may sukat lamang naman dito ay yung segment. Okay? So, i-divide the segment into congruent parts. Last but not the least, the perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector is a line or segment that divide the segment into two congruent parts and it's perpendicular. Paano po nangyari yun? O, example nito guys. So, yung line segment natin na HE ay hinati into two parts. So, meron po tayong AH at saka AE. At nakita nyo, pareha sa kanilang sukat. At saka guys, yung nabuo natin na HAV at saka po EAB ay right angles. So, hindi lang niya guys, hinati yung dalawang line segment o yung line segment into two equal line segment din. Nagbuo pa siya guys sa mga right angle. So, from the word itself, perpendicular siya guys. Yung line ay perpendicular na, bisector pa. Hinati pa niya into two parts na congruent din. Okay, that is perpendicular bisector. Ulitin ko guys ha, pag sinabing line segment at saka line segment bisector at saka po perpendicular bisector, hindi yung line ang hinahati nila guys ha. Dito sa ating image na to, ang hinahati po niya yung line segment. Okay? Now, ang tanong, paano ba gamitin sir yung mga definition niyan pag tayo nag-prove? Magagamit ba talaga yan? At kailangan pa natin pag-aralin? Syempre po, magagamit po talaga yan. Example of which guys, ito yung mga bibigay ko example sa inyo. Complete each if and then statement. O yan, if and then niya, di reasoning sigurado yan. Use definition to give reason in order to justify your answer. O, example. If point T is a midpoint of AR, then, ano kaya mabubuo natin guys dito? O, diba, definition ng midpoint. From the word itself, mid, gitna, tapos point. O, sabi, makabuo tayo ng line segment dyan na AT. At saka po, TR. They are said to be congruent. Paresang sukat. At anong may reason natin guys? Definition of midpoint. Kaya guys, pag nagsuot tayo ng mga proving o yung mga proofs sa ating reasoning, yung magpuprove tayo na magpuprove, yan po ang gagamitin natin. Definition of midpoint, definition of something, definition of another thing. Tapos sulat natin guys yung ating statement. So, lagay natin ay reason. Ako nyari, angle A is congruent to angle B. Definition of congruent angles. Line segment TA is congruent to line segment TR. Definition of midpoint. Yan, dapat po, yun ang paraan guys, para tayo ay makapag-justify. Next example, yan. Marami-rami na to. If the measure, masa guys ito ay measure if the measure of angle T is 80 degree, o angle T measure 80 degree, then angle T is an or blank. So therefore, siya po ay acute angle. So, ang gamitin mong reason ay definition of acute angle because sabi nila ang definition of acute angle, it measure less than 90 degree. Oh, siya po ay acute angle. Okay? Next, if ray Jayvee is an angle bisector of angle TBA, then ano makukulod natin guys? O meron tayong G na dagdag. O meron tayong angle GBT at angle GBA ay congruent o paresang sukat. Congruent po dapat to ha. Bakit congruent sila? Because of the definition of angle bisector. Na yung angle GB ay angle bisector, hinati niya into two congruent angle yung dating angle na TBA. O, diba? Definition of angle bisector. Number 4, if ray AB bisect line segment CR at point B, then ano ma-prove natin? Si BC ay congruent sa BR o yung line segment BC is congruent to line segment BR. Anong reason guys? Definition of segment bisector. Okay, so matik po. Ano ba yung meaning ng segment bisector? It's a ray or a point that divide a segment into two congruent parts. Di ba? Matik guys na prove natin tong mga given item natin gamit guys yung mga definition. At yan guys yung mga example kung bakit napaka-importante na alam mo yung mga definition ng mga yan. Okay? So para malaman natin whether you understand our topic and alam nyo kung paano magbigay ng mga reason depending on the definition ng mga words na binigay ko sa inyo o ng ating mga defined terms, you may try to prove the following. Okay? So guys, get your ballpen and also the copy ng inyong sinulat na defined terms para ma-prove ang mga to. Then after guys, bibigyan ko guys ng 5 minutes para isolve at bigyang pansin ang mga to. Okay? So, good luck guys. So, timer start now. So guys, time's up. Let's try to check your answer whether they're correct or not. So for number 1, if the measure of the angle TBA is 90 degree, then angle TBA is an or it's a right angle. So ang gagawin po natin ay definition of right angle. So guys, tumama po kayo. So very good po. Next, if the sum of the measure of angle T and angle A is 180 degree, then angle T and angle A are, okay, very good po. They are supplementary. So definition of supplementary angles. So sabi sa inyo, supplementary angle, ang measure ng kanilang sum ng measure ng kanilang angle ay 180 degree. So last natin, number 3, if ray AB bisect and perpendicular to the line, also line segment CR at point B, so then line segment BC is congruent to line segment BR, so by the definition of a perpendicular bisector. So guys, I hope tumama po sa tatlong iyon. Guys, kung hindi kayo tumama, at least guys, i-recall ninyo yung mga topic para po mas magkameron kayo ng idea kung paano po gamitin ang mga ito. So guys, that's our discussion about defined terms. So meron tayong discussion about ng undefined terms. So I'm going to put the link ng undefined terms at saka yung introductory video natin about axiomatic system or the postulate system sa videong ito. Okay, guys, I hope you learned something from this video. Kung may tanong po kayo, clarification, suggestion, or any other example that you could share with me, you may comment it below with this video, guys. And don't forget, guys, to like, follow, and subscribe my channel, Hugot Sipnayan po. At saka po pala, napaka-importante guys na kailangan every discussion natin about geometry, kailangan nyo po isulat sa papel yung mga detalye kahit pa paano. Para po, in return guys, nung kapag nagpo-proving na kayo, meron kayong marirecall na papel. Okay? So guys, I hope na may natunan po kayo and God bless po, ingat. Guys, see you on the next video po. Our next video will all about guys, so nabubulol na ako, will all about axioms and postulate na makatulong naman guys ulit sa atin sa pag-prove ng ating mga geometric problem or ng ating mga geometric situation problem. Okay po, God bless po, ingat. See you in the next video guys.